It started with a pattern in the sky, something repeating every 78 seconds. A group of astronomers noticed it first. It wasn't random. It wasn't just noise. It was deliberate. Theories started to flood in. Some said it was interference. Others said it was a message. When they decoded it, it turned out to be Morse code. But that didn't make sense to the man who discovered it. If someone out there wanted to talk, why encrypt it? That's when he realized it wasn't a code at all. It was a chemical formula. They didn't know what it did, but they formulated it anyway. And that's when everything started to go wrong. They started testing the compound on different organisms. This time, the test was on rats. It was all usual until one of the rats seemed to be dead. The female scientist took it out, but the seemingly dead rat, which was filled with the compound, bit her. A few moments later, she began shaking uncontrollably. The man next to her tried to calm her, and then she suddenly stopped. But she wasn't herself anymore. She looked empty, like something else had taken over. She walked out of the room, kissed the officer outside, and instantly he changed too. They were infected. And they were infecting others fast. All of them, these new creatures, started collecting samples of themselves, or really, samples of us. Meanwhile, my life was the same as always. I'm a writer. I wrote a book years ago that somehow stayed popular, so I just keep reading it to people, signing copies, repeating the same thing over and over. I'm sick of it. That night, I was out with Helen, the love of my life. We had a few drinks, stepped outside for a smoke, just a normal evening. Then a man in a car crashed into another right in front of us. He looked strange. I turned to call Helen, and that's when I saw it happening to her too. The shaking. I ran inside the bar for help, but it was happening to everyone there as well. I tried calling 911. No answer. I didn't know what to do. I was scared, confused, completely lost, but I knew I had to get Helen to a hospital. When I reached the hospital, I thought things would finally make sense. But it was worse. People inside weren't screaming or running. They were just still, completely still. I came to take Helen inside, but unfortunately, she was no more. Then all at once, they started moving together, every step the same, like they were being controlled by one mind. I tried talking to one of them, but they all stopped, turned toward me, and stared. I asked what was happening. And in perfect sync, they all said, "We just want to help, Carol." My heart dropped. I pulled Helen away from them and ran out of there. The whole place was a wreck, and they were everywhere. When I reached home, I was struggling to open the door. 2 children stopped near my door and told me the spare key was under the flower pot, the one I had placed there in 2016. There was no way they could know that they said they just wanted to help. I told them to leave, and they did. I got inside with Helen and desperately searched the TV for anything that could explain what was going on. Only one channel was working. A man was standing there. There was a phone number on the screen. I called it, and he already knew who I was. He told me to stay indoors for a few days, said they were cleaning the city, and it would be distressing for me to see. He asked if I needed help with food, medicine. I refused. I asked if this was an alien invasion. He said it wasn't. He said they were using extraterrestrial technology, which came from a compound called RNA, something that connects them all like a psychic glue. He kept calling himself we. So I asked who we was. He said, "We is us." Then he told me I was one of only 12 people in the entire world who hadn't changed. But they'd figure out why soon, and then they'd fix me. That's when it finally hit me. The fear, the helplessness, everything, and that's where episode 1 ends.